Welcome back to the episode. Thanks for tuning in as always. Another just friendly reminder to like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. It's first of October. Fresh off another Michigan bye week. They have Wisconsin on the docket. A Maze out at 12 o'clock noon on Saturday. And then the Lions coming off a awesome victory against the Cleveland Browns. Really got in, grinded out. Did what was necessary, wasn't pretty, but they were still able to do enough and execute at a high level to get the job done. So a good showing out at home. Um, they're going to be on their way to Cincinnati this week playing a Joe Burrowless Bengals, but still an NFL is still a dangerous team, still a team that you can get got by. But no, they'll be up for the challenge for sure. But yeah, we're gonna dive in just to Michigan and Wisconsin to kick things off and go from there. And I'll just kick it over to you and just see your thoughts on Michigan and Wisconsin this weekend.
For sure. Yeah, Badgers coming to town here. Kind of one of those, just not quite the same game it was, let's say 5, 10 years ago, where you knew exactly what they were coming with as far as just a heavy run dose. Uh
Yeah,
the biggest offensive line ever seen made demand. But a little bit of a different shakeup with the current Wisconsin. Um, a couple of they're sitting there at 2-2. Miami of Ohio, 17-0 dub. Who really cares about that? Middle Tennessee State, 40-10. Eh. Kind of got beat up versus Alabama, beat up versus Maryland, and then they take a week off and they come to our big house here. So I would say a game that I'm not overly nervous about. What I really am for us to do is more of the same. Uh, the, establish the run, control the line of scrimmage on both sides, help look to get Bryce just kind of more comfortable slash expand that what we're asking him to do. Um, and outside of that, the only thing I really do kind of want to see us is just a couple of sustained long drives, a couple of I love them 75-yard home runs. I love them 60-yard home runs. I wouldn't mind seeing a good 80-yard, 12 play, 7 rush, 5 pass, you know, uh Bryce Underwood's 5 for 5 for 40 yards and the rest on the ground. I want to see a
Mhm.
couple of those where we just look methodical, driving the ball down. I think that's the next facet of the offense I'm looking for is just sound,
More efficient.
yeah, more efficient, methodical offense of, a few times throughout this game, just to kind of build that confidence on there. Mix that in with the home run ability of Justice Hayes, with the home run ability of Underwood or whoever might break one. I think that is kind of the next steps in order to really prove and show who we are as a squad and
Yeah,
in the hunt for those playoffs.
definitely. Yeah, no, and I think overall bye week couldn't come at a better time.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to Sharon Moore. He kind of keeps breaking up the season into quarters. They have another 4 games, another bye, another 4 games in the postseason. They came out of the first quarter of the season. Pretty much where we expected them to be. So yeah, I think this is a great opportunity, like you said, to come off the bye week, clean some stuff up. Hopefully come with some of the tackling, just some of the mental errors, some of the drop passes on offense. Across the some of the issues they had across the board, and the first quarter of the season, and can put it all together against Wisconsin. It should be a great environment. They're gonna have a maze out and all that going. Yeah, you hit on the head. Just really want to see us establish the run. Want to see Bryce just more comfortable back there. Like to see him connect on a couple deep balls, really just get like Marlon Klein back more involved. But yeah, I think it'll really just start with the run game. Wanting to see Justice Haynes is continue to do. And he might, next some weeks here be able to really throw his name into the Heisman race. It's kind of seeing how, things are starting to pan out. He's already breaking Michigan records. I think I saw he's the first running back in a while to have 100 yards and a
Yeah,
touchdown, like
in
back to
the
back
first
to
like
back
4 games or
games,
something.
yeah, something like
Yeah,
that. Yeah. So, yeah, no, I think I'm excited to see how they look. Defense is looking strong last outing. Expecting them to, improve, Barham getting more reps at edge. Sullivan getting more reps, with the ones, hopefully. And just the young secondary and getting
Yeah.
some reps too. I mean, they're young back there. Rob Moore getting back comfortable. So we get into the home stretch here as far
No,
as yeah, where
we
we're
are, and I
at.
think you bring up the young secondary. I think this is a game here where they're probably not going to be asked to do a whole lot, but it's also a game where you have to do your job. You cannot. This is not a game where we can afford for you to lapse and give up a 60-yard bomb or a missed
Yeah.
tackle on a little, dig route, and then they take it up for a bunch of yards after the catch. I think you know another game where we can kind of just look to build upon what we already are doing, and the young guys in the secondary. I mean, what Nebraska probably threw the pigskin around a little more than we would have liked. But we, like I said, a lot of empty calories in there. And so you kind of looking to fuse the dominance of the D line with the young, inexperienced secondary. What if you say like Rod Moore coming back, just kind of stabilize some things before we get like deep into that Big Ten schedule here. Um, but no, were you gonna say something?
No, I agree with you. I just feel
And
like
then last thing, I would say just the routes. You brought up the wide receiver routes, and I agree with you. I think more times than I've probably seen in the last 3 years, there's been two receivers 4 yards apart, 20 yards downfield. That's just like
hmm
awkward formation. Somebody's going the wrong way. I'm not sure if that's a receiver issue only, if that's a Bryce communication issue, or
hmm
where that lapse in all that starts. But it's definitely some things you have to get out of the way because we probably have you you get half those drops back, and then you get another half of just clunky plays because two guys are in the same vicinity of each other, way down the field. You know,
way more impressive.
yeah, way more impressive. So, um, Bryce on the season called it 57% passing, 730 yards, two touchdowns, one pick. Um, I thought I had a
Also
rushing quote
fumbled.
up, and then rushing, uh, 160 on the ground, three touchdowns.
Okay.
So right around 1,000 yards. So I mean, he's giving you 250 yards a game, and a touchdown. And I would say definitely something you could build upon. His stats, I don't want to say this name too much, but going back to your deep dive you took, looking real Terrell Pryor-ish if you expand this out for the season. And I think that
Yeah.
year they went 11-2, played in the
Yeah.
Big Ten bowl game. So
Leaned on
looking
defense and run
real like
game.
he's going to be about 13 touchdowns, about 1,000 yards rushing with another 10 touchdowns on the ground. You know,
hmm
um, as we're
For
marching
sure.
into the playoff hunt here. But kind of, I guess, what are your final thoughts, and what do you kind of think it is as far a score here?
Yeah, no, I think final thoughts. I think just excited because I feel like we're going to continue to see a better version of this team from here on out. I think we got some good talent on the outside. I think some of them plays are going to start to be made, in timely situations. Um, so this is a game to clean up some of that and get some of that, and not disrespecting Wisconsin, not trying, calling it like practice or anything. But I think this is a good opportunity to come out,
I
play
almost said
Michigan.
that same word too, but
Yeah, come out and play Michigan football, you know what I'm saying? And just really like lean on them and just execute better in the pass game. And that's just going to be, as soon as we're able to get some of that play action going and keep that box light, the defense continue to show up the way that they have. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think we're really, you can start to see we're starting to peak at like the perfect time. That defense, we start getting home on them sacks. Like we're literally 8 to 10 plays away from being like undefeated and then also beating Nebraska by like 2, 3 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? Like really like showing like dominance because I mean here in the media, they don't really consider Michigan a good team yet. That's at least what I'm a lot of guys picking Nebraska over Michigan. To like in a lot of I really heard people say like, oh, we don't really think Michigan's all that great. But like, look what they're able to do against Nebraska. So like, we're kind of in that. They don't really know what Michigan is yet, but I do think we're getting close to like getting in like good form going down the stretch. So,
I agree.
yeah, I think throw out a little score prediction. Think I'm gonna go call like 30-17. think we'll establish the run. Haynes have a big game. Jordan Marshall start to get rolling. Bryce, manage things, hit a couple deep pat, you know what I'm saying? Really move the ball, execute on third down, and like you said, just good methodical drives to keep our defense fresh and so they can keep the pressure on Wisconsin's offense.
100%. I 100% agree with you on that 17. I think, like you said, we're going to play very sound defense, but something's probably going to give a couple of times, get a sneak a field goal in or something. Uh, and I'm pretty spot on with our scores in general, but I'm going 34. 34-17. It'd be four touchdowns, two field goals. Call it three total touchdowns for Bryce and one for Haynes on the ground, and we're gonna get you know another sound victory as we look forward to heading out to USC the following week.
Yeah, that might, yeah, good
Yeah,
little good little neutral site home game on the way.
thanks.
Be interesting to see what that crowd looks like when that game comes. That's going to be really excited to see. And it's going to be at a good time too on the West Coast,
Yeah,
7:30. You
seven
got us
thirty.
playing at 12:30 in the morning, 1 o'clock in the
I'll
morning.
be heated. No, they only did that. They only did that because it was state. No,
Right, no, for real.
yeah,
I
everybody
think
gonna,
I
everybody gonna
agree.
watch this shit. Put it on 8:30.
Yeah, I mean Ohio play with Washington at 7:30 on the West Coast or 3:30 on the West Coast. You back at home by it's still Saturday.
I
MSU
stayed up
was
late. I stayed up late to watch state disappoint us. Stayed up late,
yeah.
but
But yeah, we'll
um,
turn the page here to just discuss our Lions. It's another solid victory against a great defense. Cleveland Browns offense is bad, but the defense gave us a lot we could handle. But I liked how we were able to, still score on offense. Got a kickoff or a punt return on special teams. So yeah, didn't play the best on offense, still able to run for about 100 yards. JMO, he catch two or three of them passes that he had opportunities on. Looks like a completely different game, but another W in the win column. What were your thoughts?
yeah, just a very solid dub. Nothing too sexy. We didn't go out there and just. I mean, I guess this is kind of the state where we're at, where a 34-10 win, we can't say it's too sexy, but um, we just went out there and played really Detroit Lion football.
Yeah.
We really, when you look at the the stats from the team, it's kind of a weird game. Like 109 yards on the game on the ground, 3.8 yards. Like their defensive line was obviously pretty stout, but we were doing just enough, just sneaking by, keeping them chains moving. Uh, golf, when you go look at his stats, it's 16 to 27, 168, two touchdowns and a pick. Also, just a pretty mediocre game, but
Yeah.
we did the
Got
little
the
things.
job done.
Yep, got the job done. Did the little things as far as just keeping them chains moving, scoring when we had to score, keeping them off, not giving them anything too easy. And then on defense, just really playing keep away. They just had no. We knew that all we had to do was play sound defense and not make any big mistakes, and they would not be able to compete with us. And that's pretty much what happened. You look touchdown in the first half, came out field goal in the second half, and I mean, pretty much just dead in the water most of the game.
Just three and
Yeah,
out, three and out, three and out.
yeah, it was bad. So I overall very solid. I mean, do you want golf to have more yards? I guess. Do you want somebody to break one? I guess. But when you look at how tough that defense really was, their D line front seven, phenomenal. If they
Yeah.
had a real type quarterback, I mean, it'd have been night and day. So, I feel pretty solid about the dub. Few things that stood out to me. I guess this is kind of the breaks of good teams, but I'm when the game still tensely wasn't officially over, I guess they had back-to-back drops. Like probably would have been 30, 40 yard, maybe
Completions,
even touchdown type. Yeah,
touchdowns.
yeah. Followed by a 65-yard dagger punt return. I think that is just looking back, those are the type of things that good teams always find a way to do. They catch a break or two for whatever reason. You can call it a break, you can call it the D line was rushing him, so he moved, whatever the
Yeah.
case was. Followed by just the utmost. Then even still, if you're a Browns fan, you're probably thinking, okay, well, hey, we finally figured something out. We can get a stop here, whatever, and then boom, the cleanest punt return you've probably ever seen in your life. He caught it right on the sideline and I don't know, veered towards the middle of the field like 7 to 10 yards, and it just parted.
Have you seen the
Yeah,
Sky View version? The
I have
Sky
not
View?
seen the sky yet, but
Check the
yeah,
shorts after this.
it was beautiful. It was, and from there, just kind of throwing some other things out there. I'm gonna keep saying it. He's not gonna get all the credit because just what he did, but that Talik Williams, that his run defense is stout. I'm looking at teams, him getting double teamed, like fucking just fighting to the end, taking two guys on, guard and center, and that's freeing up Jack Campbell. That's freeing up Hutch, freeing up Muhammad, and that's why everybody else's stats are going to be through the roof because he's doing the dirty work. I'm really
Yeah.
starting to like that pick a lot. Not that I question that one all that much, but you see why, and then you think about keeping his big ass fresh with Malik Neal coming back, and you start to see
It's,
some
it's
promise here. So
going to
overall,
get
just
scary.
solid dub, and I'm glad we got out of there. You know, um, I mean, I was gonna say injury free, but we did lose DJ Reader.
Yeah.
Minus that, we got out of there scathe free. Hutch looked like he got messed up, but he just got the
Bro,
little
the way
blue
they
out
started
of him.
zooming in on people, I'm like, y'all, like somebody just show the replay, please. Like
It's like,
they took advantage of that moment low key. Like
yeah, they were trying to catch
that
the grown man crying,
was
but
on some like that was like some soap opera type shit.
it was in the script. They already knew. It was in
No,
there.
for real.
But
Yeah, seriously. But no, I agree with a lot of that. I think, I'll start with the defense. I mean, I think they, gave us the little scripted drive, whatever, got the little touchdown to kind of call it the gate. Um, but after that, I mean, they did what they had to do. I think they, rushed well. You said they were, I mean, we kept them pretty one-dimensional for the most part. Um, and then really just able to handle business. Hutch got there a couple different times, had some because not only were they just bad on offense, they also were down like their two starting tackles. So like we were able to just eat,
yeah,
get after the quarterback. Like
yeah. I
Hutch had one
mean,
of them like stat sheet stuffer like type stat lines like that like really show he's back.
right.
Like you're not saying the missing tackles like against like his sacks don't matter. Like I'm just saying like, that just made things even twice as difficult for them to even do anything.
100%. And I would say almost their offense is so bad that it hurt our defensive stats. Like, it was like they weren't even on. I mean, I'm looking here, like, I can't count the plays, but I mean, they had like 270, not even 260 something yards of total offense. So it's like, it's just is ugly. But no, I agree. Hutch, I mean, he's a man child. You've seen it. I mean, he's up to, I think, 4 sacks already. Um, we played 4 games. So, I mean, he's on pace for 17 again. And like we said early in the season, he gets him in batches. He'll have a 2 game. He's gonna have watch 2 or 3 more games like that where he has multiple sack games. Um,
Didn't get ugly.
sometimes
It could get ugly this week. It could get crazy this weekend.
yeah, it can get. That's what I'm hoping. And it's great transition. Just um heading into the other Ohio team, down to Bengals, the Joe Burrowless Bengals. You know, I think when you say the Joe Burrowless Bengals, all the air kind of comes out of that team. That is what they're riding on. They're hoping he's going to be, for lack of a better term, their Brett Favre gunslinger. Just he's going to keep in the game one way or another. And the only problem with that is he does not have the
O line.
injury skill level that Brett Favre had. You know what I mean? Like where it's
Oh
just
yeah.
he's out there playing with his limb hanging off his arm. So he just doesn't have that luxury to be able to pull that off. And so I think this is a completely different game than how I felt heading into the season. Heading into the season, you just could get potentially a little dicey. You never fully knew. But with him, Joe Burrow not being in town, kind of looking at just their overall run stats and all that shit. What do you feel? How do you feel about this one? I'm honestly, I was going to say it, I'm feeling pretty damn good about it. Um, Uh, feel pretty damn good about it. Honestly, maybe better than Cleveland because I was nervous that the Cleveland D line might be able to shake us up a little bit.
Yeah, like wreck the game,
Mm-hmm.
turn, field position, something like that a couple
Yep.
times. For sure. I'm with you. I mean, I think no, I agree with you 100%. I think this team, they've been pretty like average on defense, for the longest. So I think we'll be able to, for the last few years, like easily, they'll be able to run the ball on them pretty well. Um, they've been average, but shout out DJ Turner, Dax Hill, Chris Jenkins. I see they all been making plays. The
Yeah.
other
Everybody else has been
eight,
average though. No.
ain't been looking great. They ain't been looking great. But no, I think we should be able to run the ball efficiently. Play action. Get that going. I imagine David Montgomery have a good bounce back game. Guess he's from Cincinnati as well. Grew up a Bengals fan, so that just adds to the storyline. Fantasy team. So I need a big week from him. Quite frankly. But yeah, and I can see that, and really just I'm around St. Brown, best receiver in the league, continue to do what he's doing. He's quietly leading the league in touchdowns. It probably I could see him have another big game against that secondary. See JMO also catch a deep ball or two,
Mm-hmm.
get back in the mix as well. And I really just think that it'll be one of them games where you can get, up a couple scores, and let the defense just force, the Bengals to play, into some mistakes. And I think having a backup quarterback, I mean, he's solid, formidable quarterback. He played pretty well from a couple years back when Burrow got hurt. But a lot of these guys, they'll give you a turnover or two.
Mm-hmm.
They'll definitely put the ball in harm's way a couple different times, and we got to capitalize when that time comes.
Yeah. No, I think you're spot on with the turnovers. I guess that's where I'll start off at is I mean, looking at it here, he's already threw 5 picks, got 7 sacks in 3 games played. Um, yeah, it'd probably really be like 2.5 games played because I think one of them games Burrow got hurt in. So
Yeah,
he he's giving you about 2.5 turnovers a game. So I feel pretty confident in that. And I think this game is going to be where our defense in particular, I think we're going to have to. It's a weird game because I don't want to say make them one dimensional where you forcing the ball into Chase and in T Higgins' hands, but I mean looking at their run game, I just can't think they're going to be able to move the ball on us via run. So I think we'll be able to probably man up with the 4 on front, maybe 3 on front, and really hold our own and drop back a lot and kind of help that secondary out. And just so kind of let Sleek Williams, Hutch, Muhammad kind of just do their
Reader,
thing on the D
yeah.
line, and then kind of drop everybody else back, help them young boys out back there. Because I'm looking, their leading rusher for the season, 57 rushes, 133 yards.
Mm.
Or for the team, 76 rushes, 200 yards. Uh, 2.5 yards a carry. Long for the team is 12 yards. That's just pitiful. So
Yeah, O line
I'm
was already bad, so like now they know there's no. Yeah, I mean they're being turned one dimensional like out the gate pretty much, and it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
not. Yeah,
Which is yeah, and then you partner that with a backup quarterback, really, and I think yeah, we'll be able to get the ball out of their hands, and then offensive wise, um, just feed the 2-headed monster. I swear every week we should try to have a goal to average 200 fucking yards a game. Like I
no,
think
for
catch
real.
goal and then play action. I agree with you though. I think potentially I want to see us get JMO the ball better in the flow of the offense versus just like we haven't threw him a deep ball in a minute. Let's just throw him one. I kind of, which I feel like is how we're treating some of those deep balls versus like I think it was a game or two ago. The first 2 pass plays were direct plays to him, 20 yard, 20 yard, boom, boom. And then I feel like after that it was just let's try to get him a 60-yard home run versus just let's see how it naturally flows and opens up. I think we maybe need to feed him the ball a little better just in the flow of the offense where we're not just singling him out as hey like just go beat this guy. I think we'd be better of partnering. Hey, just go beat this guy off of a play action versus just kind of throwing it up there and see what happens. That's kind of how I
Yeah,
want to utilize him a little better. Um, St. Brown, I think I don't know if this is a golf thing or a chemistry thing or maybe it's a Johnny Morton thing. But how we're utilizing him in the red zone, particularly around the end zone, is getting fancy. It's getting it. We don't really know what they're going to do with it. They got lining up. You got to line it up in like a
Backfield, read option.
backfield. Yeah, read options. He's out there in double stacks. He's out there by himself. He's running like interesting routes to get open. And
A
so
lot
I
of
think
motion.
yeah. So all that stuff I think in we've only seen the beginning of that. We don't. I bet you they have a alternative to that read option play that we'll eventually
Yeah.
see down the line.
And they seem
I
more
bet.
impressive because it's so hard to score in the red zone, especially like inside the five.
Mhm.
Like it's damn, you saw how we did with Cleveland. It took them like 6 plays at the one to finally get in there. And a lot
Yeah.
of NFL teams just do that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of teams will do that to you. They'll just like, hold you up, hold you to a field goal, and they're finding ways to scheme him open where he's open, open.
Yes.
Like just running to the pylon pretty much, turn around and the golf is giving him the ball and the money.
Yeah. I mean, he obviously probably won't keep his pace up, but I mean, he's on pace. So it just flashed away, but
Like
he's on
20,
pace for like
30
20,
touchdowns.
yeah, like 23 touchdowns or some shit. So, I mean that, yeah, I mean he's had 6 this year already. He only had not only, but he had 12 last year, 10 the year before. So,
Yeah.
whatever they unlock with that, I think is primes. And
Hmm.
not that we should get away from. I wouldn't be mad at giving to Montgomery 4 times from the one either, but just finding ways to scheme players open and just utilize what they have to their advantages.
Yeah.
Got
No,
the
I'm with
score
you
machine
there.
out, but yeah, but no, bro, it's I feel like this game is one of those games where it could get ugly for them. I'm not calling it necessarily. I think a sound victory either way, but I could see
Yeah.
the wheels falling off. I could see Hutch 4 games in, 5 games in, really having his feet wet. Um, and like you said, it's about time JMO clicked for a couple big ones, shit like that. It's just a matter of time. UA Pine ain't gonna have 2 back-to-back bad games from Montgomery. Um,
Right.
yeah, so they got a lot working against them.
No,
And
definitely. Yeah. I mean, this is going to be, you got a couple guys on our offense that didn't have great games looking to bounce back. You got a D line, a front seven, I think is playing one of the best front sevens in the league right now. I mean, against the run, rushing the passer. I mean, they're just looking great. They're going to continue to improve. And yeah, I don't know if we can kind of go out here and start to throw out some score predictions already, but I see it. I could definitely see it being like it could either be like a 41-10, kind of how Minnesota did them with Carson Wentz,
mm,
or I could also kind of see them like having a little pride and it maybe being like a 34-20. You know what I'm like they,
yeah,
score twice. I mean, the secondary a little banged up. They might, you know what I'm saying? Just, come down and get a touchdown on us, or you know what I'm saying? Hang around for a little bit before I think we start to kind of like impose our will and like really get to like humming on offense and like making them have to earn it. Our defense making them earn it from there.
yeah. I think. I mean, I really think it comes down to can what's Chase going to do when he does have the ball in his hands?
Yeah.
Is Chase going to go crazy mode on us and just 60
Wait, hold
yard
on.
60 yard
Yeah.
slants to the crib, or is he already checked out or not? I didn't say that, but if he still thinks, hey, I can do this and this, he could give you a long day. T Higgins could give you a long day. So you need that D line to really help the backup secondary up. So that's kind of the one thing that it does scare me a little bit because I mean Chase just catches 60-yard bombs can keep anybody in the game. So he
Some of
does
the stuff he did last year was crazy.
yeah, he does a couple of those, a couple field goals. Golf has a bonehead throw a pick again. Yeah, I mean you could see how the game could shorten up
Be
and get a
close
little
for a
yeah.
little bit. Like I can
Um
see being close until halftime just because they at home. It's just gonna be such a like we
yeah,
gotta bounce back on some pride. Like they've been embarrassed back to back weeks.
yeah.
Like they've been
No,
outscored like 65 to like 6.
yeah. No, I agree. I think it's gonna be a bad I think it's gonna be maybe slightly closer game than the score it really indicates, but it still looks like decisive victory for us. But I'm gonna say I'm gonna go like 38-17. I think
Okay, I like
I
that
think,
score. Yeah,
yeah, I think their defense is not as sound as the Browns. We got 34 on the Browns. Offense probably a little better than the Browns. That's kind of where I'm coming up with that. And just looking at the lay of the land, I, I I really think Chase is probably gonna get a touchdown on us. I think he's gonna look at them young boys as food. He's gonna look at them and
especially Terry and Arnold from Alabama.
yeah, he been yeah. Is that no? Who does Terry and Arnold is Jefferson, right? One of them has a relationship with Jefferson. Who the fuck was that? I remember they like been playing against each other since like forever. Maybe I can't think who the hell that was, but
Oh,
um,
Meek and Justin Jefferson. I
yeah,
think you
okay,
talk.
but yeah, no, I agree. He's gonna look at them guys like, hey, I this is a game for me potentially. So, but yeah,
For
I think at
sure.
34-17, um, with Chase probably going off, Hutch having a big game, welcome
Okay.
back, and yeah, and also I think Montgomery probably. The way he be talking on some of the podcasts, I think he a little more prideful than we think. He's like, I'm not a power back. I'm an everything
Yeah,
back.
he.
He don't want to be just pigeonholed as like the backup big dude to give. So I don't
Not.
think
Hey,
he
I
has too many
respect it.
nine
Hey,
carries, 12-yard games. You know what I mean?
yeah, and I respect it. I remember when he went 75 over in LA. Like I
For
mean,
sure.
even that 72, he didn't look great getting caught on that 72 yarder. Yeah, that's why
I
you get
no,
caught a power
he didn't
back.
look great.
But that's
Uh
what that's
no,
fine though. Like that's
I
what we
mean
need
Gibbs when he
from
got caught, but
right. Oh yeah, Gibbs would have hit his head on the
he just scored
goalpost.
about 3 seconds before that. He scored,
Yeah.
but
But I think Montgomery, I mean, that's just like that's thunder. He just broke the game open either way. It was effective either way.
yeah, no, I think he a little prideful in general, and I'm saying that in a good way. I think
Oh, for sure.
he's gonna want to keep it as close to the carry yards as he has because he knows
Yeah.
nine
It's
carry, 12
limit.
yard games eventually becomes I'm not even touching the ball that much.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
opportunities becoming limited. I mean, you gotta, they playing Gibbs.
Mm-hmm.
You playing him more. He's
So
just,
yeah, you got to make the most of it for sure.
definitely.
But no,
So,
good. I think this is a good podcast here. I'm looking forward to some good football this weekend. Um,
yep.
and it's surprisingly hot fucking October. But
Yeah.
but no, for sure. You got anything else to say, people?
That's all I got. Be back with y'all next week.
Yes, sir. Peace.